he would step across the line. Habitually, he's a habitual line stepper.
You make me happy. Thanks for joining me on the Habitual Line Steppers podcast, y'all. I am Garrett Charles Langley Henson.
And I'm Terry Ricardo DeShays II. Sunday Fun Day. Back at it again. What's today, though? Monday? I'm fucking up.
Yeah, it's Monday. Wow. That hangover is real, Terry. Those post-30 hangovers. You know, I've heard of people looking at things through like rose-tinted glasses before, but you're really taking things to the next level. Is that like a migraine thing, or is that because you're picking the Knicks to finish first in the East?
Nah. I'm just ready for basketball, baby. It's the start of the NBA tomorrow, man. This is about to be awesome. We're going ahead and drop this NBA preview, giving y'all what y'all need, the East and the West. It's going to be a long one. So buckle up. Buckle up, baby.
I know that's right. We're probably going to split into two for you. Let's start off with the Western Conference, Terry. Let's go worst to first. Build the suspense. Tease them with it before we stick it in. You know what I mean? All right. I am starting with the worst team in the Western Conference. Could well be the worst team in the NBA. The San Antonio Spurs.
Yes, sir.
Terry, I came dressed like this for a specific reason. The San Antonio Spurs are not going to be planning on doing any winning next year, so they can secure the hoops of a man who wears shirts like these, Victor Wenbenyama. The last time the Spurs had a chance to suck this bad, they got Tim Duncan, and they told David Robinson, don't even think about picking up a basketball. No, You're hurt. You are hurt, and you stay hurt.
That's facts.
Terry, for me, the real question is about this Spurs team this season. Why didn't Pop retire last year and let Becky Hammond deal with this? Why would I allow myself to take 60 losses on my career win-loss record? Absolutely not. If I'm Pop, I'm retiring before the season. I'll let Becky Hammond come up from the W League to coach a starting lineup that's going to have a 19-year-old, two 22-year-olds, and a 23-year-old in it, with three 19-year-olds coming off the bench.
Yeah.
This team, they're doing the Sam Presti. They're like, we're not going to shut our players down. We're not going to tell SGA that he has to stop playing at Christmas. But what we are going to do is assemble a terrible roster full of teenagers, none of which who could pass or handle the ball.
Yep. Hey, man. If you want to tank, this is how you tank. This is the perfect way to do it. San Antonio picked the right time, bro, because it seems like this Victor Wembanyama guy's the real deal, the best person we've seen since LeBron type of shit. So I think this is only right. Not much of a discussion on this. I mean, did you hear what Pop said, though, when he said he's coming back? He just said, I'm doing it for the paycheck. Pretty much that's it. He was like, I mean, they paid me millions. Like, I'm just going to keep doing it. Fuck it. Good answer, Pop.
Hey, you know what? It's hard to argue with that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Way to keep it a buck, Craig Popovich, as usual.
Generational wealth, bro. I agree. Keep it going.
But even this year is going to be tough on Pop. For a guy who's used to going deep into playoffs, is used to coaching legendary players, all the mental mistakes that these guys are going to be making with their – I mean, you could add up their whole starting lineup and it won't reach 100 years old. It's fucking ridiculous. So good luck with this team, Pop. It's going to be a rough season in San Antonio, but hopefully at the end you get another franchise player to make you guys relevant for the next 20 years.
Yeah. I mean, is there even a single person on here that's promising for them, though? For the future? I feel like none of them can do anything. I feel like every single person on this roster could be gone next year. They
got some pieces. Keldon Johnson made the USA basketball team.
He's okay.
Devin Vassell profiles as a 3-and-D, 40% shooter. You know, he could be an impact player. They drafted Jeremy Sohan in the lottery this year, who is a Swiss Army defensive guy. And then, they got Josh Primo, who was the youngest player in the draft last season. Nobody really knows what they have in him. He could be an Anthony Simons type of guy. Nobody's changed in your life, Terry. There's no Victor Wenbenyama that's already on the Spurs roster. There's nobody who you could ascend to seeing being an all-star in the next 3 seasons. This season is all about collecting those L's. So Waluigi, the wild Frenchman, can come on over and save them.
All right, so they're last. Who's next? We agree totally on the Spurs. They're going to be garbage.
Ooh. Almost lost the whole thing right there. The whole kid and caboodle almost went off the joint right there, Terry. Yeah. End of the show.
And you trash that audio? What? Go ahead.
That's how you rap right there. When I'm ready to end a segment, I just break my computer.
You'd only see it if it was on YouTube. But all right, keep it going. Spurs suck. Who's next? Where you go? What are you looking for, bro? What are you looking for?
Oh, you're back. Terry, it's so great to see you.
I never left.
Well, as we wrap up our conversation about the San Antonio Spurs, probably be as long as anybody talks about the Spurs this entire season, unless they're talking about Wenbenyama. Let's transition over to another team who plans on being terrible this season. If they win 25 games, they're going to be upset with themselves. Dealer Danny and the Utah Jazz. They just sent Rudy Gobert to the Timberwolves. They want to be as bad as possible. Danny Ainge has no desire to win any games so they can get in for Wenbenyama. But I don't think they're going to be as bad as the Spurs, Terry. They got too many good players.
Yeah.
Still on their roster, they got Jared Vanderbilt, Malik Beasley, Collin Sexton, Lowry Markkanen, Mike Conley, Kelly Olynyk, Jordan Clarkson, and we're not even counting the rookies in like Walker Kessler and Ochai Agbaji. That's like 8 guys who could play.
And Taylor Horton-Tucker isn't like the worst on your bench.
He's perfect if you're trying to win 20 games. He's perfect.
If he's coming off the bench, that's not good. If you start him, Collin Sexton, not Rudy Gay, but like probably do somebody else young. They're probably just going to try to get rid of all these other guys. Like Conley's probably gone midway the season. Gay definitely is going to be gone. So
yeah, all these guys are going to be gone. He's going to trade at literally. There's going to be Collin Sexton and a bunch of guys like Jordan Clarkson. He's gone. Kelly Olynyk, stretch bigs are hard to find. He's gone. Mike Conley. You can't tell me a team isn't going to need a veteran ball handler like Dallas or something later in the season. Malik Beasley shoots 40% from 3. Walker Kessler is 7 foot tall and is 18 years old. Jared Vanderbilt is an elite rim protector and roll guy and rebounder, switchy on the perimeter.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, though, they have an organizational mandate. You will not win games. And Danny Ainge will do everything he can to make sure that happens.
Yeah, I think Danny Ainge picked the perfect scenario to get up out of there, and open up his horizons in Utah. Utah, though, bro, like the roster currently constructed, they could probably win like 37 games. So they're going to definitely have to get rid of these dudes. They got to go. You start Collin Sexton, and you just start with that one. He's the guy that runs your franchise into 19 wins. That's how you start it off. Everybody else, I don't know exactly what they're going to do, but Collin Sexton, he's a guy. He'll lose you some games.
Oh, yeah. He did it in Cleveland.
Yeah, he definitely did. That's why his ass is gone. Darius Garland took his job quick.
Man. Is Collin Sexton just 3 LeBron James seasons away from being Kyrie Irving? Is there really a tangible difference in what Collin Sexton did in Cleveland and what Kyrie Irving did in Cleveland before LeBron? And why do we talk about Collin Sexton like he's the worst player in the NBA, but we talk about Kyrie like he's an all-time talent?
Well, Kyrie, I don't know, he hit a couple game winners when there was nobody on his team. He scored like 40 points a couple times.
Yeah, so did Deion Waiters.
That's true. I don't know, but you can always tell, and you don't even have to look at analytics and shit, but when Kyrie's driving to the rim and there's 3 people on him, he hits a tough layup and he does it consistently. You're just like, oh, this guy's good. He just needs some people around him, and he'll be fantastic. Collin Sexton just used to over dribble the fucking ball. That's why Kevin Love beamed it at his ass. Wasn't that him? He beamed it at him, right? Yeah, come on.
Actually, I think it was the $75 million man as of this morning, Kevin Porter Jr. He just signed a contract extension with the Rockets. I think it was Kevin Porter Jr. But
either. He sucks.
Yeah, they had those 2 dumb coconuts together, and I don't suspect it'll look much different in Utah this season. Let me transition over now to my 13th worst team in the West. A team that's filled with a lot of promise. They got a lot of young talent. But and going into this season, there's talk, are they going to compete? Are they going to try to make the play-in? Well, an injury to number 1 overall pick, Chet Holmgren, number 2 overall pick, kind of quashed that and gave them an out. I think Oklahoma City is going to be the 3rd worst team in the West.
Yeah.
Giddey is taking a step forward. SGA is a baller. But Sam Presti, he got that dealer Danny gene. And he's even more egregious than Danny. He'll shut down healthy players in the middle of the season to make sure they don't play.
Yeah.
You remember when he just told Al Horford, you're not allowed to play basketball? And then he went to the fucking finals with the Celtics?
Yep. I remember that. If you're trying to lose, you can't have Al Horford, though. I get it.
Yeah. Well, if you're trying to lose, you put Poku at point guard like they did it sometimes last season. And I think that's the ace up their sleeve that they're going to pull out if they're 7 games above. They're like, oh, no, high ankle sprain, turf toe on SGA. We got to have Poku filling at point now.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think you got it right because they do have some talent, and they got a couple vets on there that can like do some stuff. Muscala and Burke, they're all right. They can do some stuff, but I don't know. I don't know what they want to do. Like, they are bad, but I feel like those young guys are still pretty good, and they can win them like 5 extra games that they don't want to win. You know, so I don't know. It's unfortunate. They're in a weird.
I feel like before Chet went down, they were like right with the Kings. Like, we're gonna make the play-in. We're gonna have positive momentum. Like, we're gonna start to see some returns and dividends from these young guys. And then it's like the number 2 pick gets injured. It's like, what the fuck are we gonna try so hard to make the play-in for? So we can miss a chance at getting generational prospects in Wenbenyama and Scoot? Fuck no.
Yeah.
They're going to look at the calendar come like January, and they'll be like, we're not making no play-in. And even if we do, where are we going? Shut them down. We're getting that pick.
Pretty much. God, their odds of winning the championship are 100,000 to 1.
So, yeah, we get a full season of Poku at point to look forward to in Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
They're going to suck. You know they're going to suck when it's like your 3 biggest additions are all rookies and the best one is hurt. And then the other one is Jalen Williams. And then the third one is a French guy who couldn't play in the French league.
They're going to be bad. So we ain't worried about it. So that's your third worst team in the West.
All right. We're starting to get interesting now. I think we knew all 3 of those teams were going to be bad coming into this season. You could realistically tell. Now we're starting to get into the teams that have designs on being good, but are likely to be bad, which is the part of the NBA I really like to sink my teeth into. So my next team, Terry, coming up at 12th in the West, are the Houston Rockets.
Interesting.
They rewarded Kevin Porter Jr. this morning with a $70 million contract. Whether or not that proves to be a good idea, we're going to find out. Just make sure you don't give his locker away. But this offseason, they drafted well. They added Jabari Smith Jr. They added Tari Eason. Those guys are going to be, expected to be plus defenders in the NBA their rookie season. Down the line, they expect them to be elite defenders. They took Ty Washington to give him some more juice on the ball. They got a good inside-out dynamic, with Sengun and Jabari Smith Jr. And we haven't even talked about Jalen Green. Problem is, none of those guys have the potential to be Victor Wenbenyama. And they're going to see that big French apple dangling on the top of the orchard tree when it comes around time to make decisions. Are we going to make a playoff push? The answer is no. There's no playoff push coming in Houston. It's going to be a fun season. They'll get to watch the development of their young players. At the end of the day, they'll do whatever it takes to make sure they get in that lottery and get a chance at Wenbenyama and Scoot.
I think they're a prime candidate, bro, to get the number 1. I like Jalen Green. I'm not on the Bill Simmons train. I'm not saying fuck Jalen Green, but I don't know, bro. Jabari Smith is good too, but I don't think they got enough talent to get 30 wins. How many wins did they get last year, bro? If we're gonna do a guesstimation, they sucked. 20 wins.
20.
Bro? You think they're gonna finish above? Who'd you put again? OKC,
Spurs, and Utah.
I mean, the Spurs roster is pretty bad. Utah still has to make a lot of moves to be bad.
But Utah wants to be bad. I think the Rockets are going to delude themselves the first 2 months of the season into trying to win games. And then that's going to set them up maybe a couple games ahead of some of these other teams. once there's the free fall race to the bottom at the end of the year.
I just think like Houston, Jabari Smith, I don't even know if he's going to be worth like 7 wins. Like he's good, but I don't think he's going to add 7 wins to you. If you put them out there, I think first 20 games they could go like 1-19, and then they're just going to be like, well, we'll just get the number 1 pick. I think they suck pretty good. I can't see them being this high up.
I think they suck too, but you know why I'm a little higher on them? All those Christian Woodmen is where are they going now?
I don't know who they got. They like
my guy, Alperen Sengun. My guy, Sengun. I love him. He's better than Christian Wood. Those minutes are going to be positive for them.
We'll see.
They're going to be fun to watch at minimum. They got a lot of exciting young guys, but it's like they don't have any of the true blue chip young guy, like franchise player young guy. Nah. And so eventually that's going to be why they don't try to get into the play-in. They're like, let's try to get a franchise player.
The real question for them is where's Eric Gordon going? I know he's not going to stay in Houston. Like, where he goes is going to be kind of big. I feel like he'd be great for like the Bucks or somebody like that. Another shooter. That'd be fun.
That's a good call right there.
I don't know. Houston's going to be bad. God, the bottom of the West is pretty shit, dude. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
Wow.
I think my left headphone just died. We're going to rock with my right one in.
All right, Elton John.
All right, we're going to see if we can get away with one. We'll see how long this one takes to die. Then I'll just be fucking like Dumbo exposing my bare ears to the people.
Big-ass white ears.
Yeah, I'm just going to flap them and fly off before we do the Eastern Conference. It's only going to be one conference today. Well, Terry, let me transition to a team that they're hoping they take off and soar this season. I don't think it's going to happen for them.
I think I know who it is.
Yeah, they reloaded. Yeah, go ahead and guess.
Portland.
Yep.
It's got to be Portland. Yep. Horrible. Now, go ahead. Give me an explanation. They're going to be shit.
Now, Portland thinks they're going to be good. They're like, we're coming back. The same blueprint that we used to go to the Western Conference Finals 7 years ago when the league was terrible is going to take us right back there again. 2 diminutive guards who can't play defense. But no, it's fine. We have Yusuf Nurkic, who's coming off of debilitating knee and foot injuries, who's going to clean it all up on the back end.
Yeah.
I don't see the pieces coming together. Their schedule, Terry, have you seen their schedule?
No, I didn't look.
Their first 20 games is like 17 out of the 20 made the playoffs last season.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, that's going to be tough.
They're going to get fucked. They are going to get fucked in that first 20 games. They have an inexperienced head coach in Chauncey Billups. If they're fucking 5-15 after 20 games and Chauncey Billups is just staring off into the fucking forest like Nate McMillan, like this team better pivot real quick and start trying to flip some of these pieces so you can get in the tanking race. I think this could be the season Lillard gets traded. I think this could be the season that it all falls apart. I am not high on Portland. I think they're going to suck.
Yeah. Portland is going to be bad, bro. Their whole season is just dependent on Dame Lillard, dude. Like, if, God forbid, he's going to miss games. He just does, at this point. He's, 10, 11 years in the league, probably more. He's been here for a while. Yeah, he's a 10-year vet, bro. He gets hurt. He's a small dude. I don't know, man.
If he gets hurt, wrap it up, like, immediately.
Yeah.
Like,
well, I'm just
stop
saying,
trying.
like, he's going to miss his obligatory, 10 to 20 games. Like, he usually was doing that. How do you win without him? Like, Gary Payton, Nurkic, and Nurkic is going to get hurt. He always gets hurt.
You didn't even talk about their big 3, Terry. Their big 3. Their big offseason addition. Jeremy Grant.
Oh, yeah.
The all-star who's going to make a big 3 with Nurkic and Dan. Oh, excuse me. It's a big 4 with Anthony Simons.
I mean, Jeremy Grant, he got that money. He did look okay as the number 1 in Detroit, which is kind of weird to say. I don't know how much he's going to help them, though, because I don't know if he's going to go take another back seat again. Like, if you feel the fresh waters of that number 1 type play, then you go to Portland and you're just like, I'm going to need the ball more. I can see him saying that in, game 10. He's like, hey, we're not winning because I'm just not touching the rock enough. I need my 20 shots a game. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, and they're like, yeah, because Detroit won so much when you were touching the rock all the time.
illusion, baby. You know they don't know that.
You know who won when you barely touched it? The Denver Nuggets. They beat the Clippers in the fucking bubble.
That is fast. Yeah, bro. I don't know. They're going to be bad. I'm willing to say I like doing sure bets. Whatever their over-under is, I'm going under on that motherfucker.
Way under. Yeah. And the formula is simple, Terry. I don't like teams that can't guard on the perimeter or protect the rim.
Yeah.
You have 6 foot nothing point guards out there guarding, and then your center who's going to clean all this up is a white dude who couldn't jump over the curb when he was fully healthy.
No, I just don't see it, bro. I don't see it. I hate that Gary Payton went here, bro. That shit pisses me off. I think he should have went to another team, dude.
He got that money, bro. He was like, listen, it's hard to turn down $10 million. He pulled a Greg Popovich.
Yeah. I feel like he could have got some other money somewhere else. It's going to be weird, dude. Like, when you're going from a winning situation and you go to Portland, that's going to be tough on his psyche. He's a winning player, bro. So we'll see how he handles this shit. I got to check what their over-under is. I know I listened to Bill Simmons, but, like, I forgot what it was. I got to know.
I actually even forgot that he was on the team just because the construction of their roster is so poor. It's like, so 3 of your 5 best players are under 6'2".
Yeah, pretty much. And then Jeremy Grant, you can't forget about him, though. He's a beast. Yeah.
That's not going to work, dude. It's just not going to work. I'm sorry. The NBA is a league in which it helps to be tall.
That's facts.
There's a reason that Wenbenyama is going over Scoot Henderson, despite Henderson being more skilled, right? He's fucking 8 feet tall. It matters.
That's facts, dude. Yeah. So Portland's over-under for wins is 39.5.
Fade it. Fade away.
That is high as fuck. 39 wins for Portland? I mean, that's play-in odds. That might be play-in odds if they win 39. It depends on how the West goes. So we can just keep going, but 39 wins? I don't know.
Portland, I understand. Blazers fans, I understand you're mad. I understand the national media doesn't talk about you guys a lot. I understand you're looking forward to like a smaller podcast, like really breaking it down, giving you guys your flowers. It's not happening this season, guys. You're going to suck.
Yeah, not this year. Sorry, guys. It's over.
But Portland, they're not going to be the only team upset with these rankings, Terry. In fact, I think the next team may have a bone to pick as well. With my 10th best team in the Western Conference, I'm going with the team similar to Portland, trying to make a playoff push. Unlike Portland, they have the longest playoff drought in the history of American professional sports currently. I'm going with the Sacramento Kings.
Sacramento. My God. Can't believe it, bro. Sacramento Kings making the playoffs this year?
Making the play-in. All right?
You don't think they're getting the A seed?
No. They're the 10. They're the 10 right now in my book. I think the offense is going to be really fun. I think this is going to be a good league pass team. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch. You know, last season they had Sabonis for the last 20 games. He made an instant impact. He had good chemistry with De'Aaron Fox. They added Keegan Murray in the draft, who's a skilled shooter. Kevin Huerter from the Hawks, who can also shoot it. Malik Monk from the Lakers, who can also shoot it. Yeah. They're going to have great spacing. Fox is going to have more room than he's ever had in his entire career. Sabonis is going to be able to get doubled on the elbows. It's going to be a really fun offense to watch. The question is the defense. Out of those guys, Sabonis, minus defender. Fox, minus defender. Kevin Huerter, minus defender. Malik Monk, terrible defender. Keegan Murray, you're a rookie. You're not going to be good on defense.
Yeah.
Who's going to play defense for the Kings?
Matthew Dellavedova. Coming off the bench, locking it down. Yeah, I don't know. You're right. It is. Honestly, for a West Coast team, we live on the East Coast. We live in North Carolina, so it's like, if it's 1 o'clock and I'm still awake, fuck it. Let me see what the Kings are doing. Because I'm not watching Portland in that fucking train wreck. The Warriors, I know they're probably going to win a lot of games. Yeah, let me see what the train wreck's going on in fucking Sacramento. I'll be tuning into that shit. That'll be crazy.
It's going to be a lot of 120 games that you lose when you score 125 points.
Yeah,
like, they're going to be exciting games, fun games to watch.
So Rashawn Holmes, is he not going to start this year, or he is definitely starting?
No way. You know how they always do him. They'll never let him start ever, despite him having the cleanest floater in the NBA and actually being a good guy. Like, He just never gets the chance. He's not going to start. He's probably their best bench, though.
Who's their starting five?
Probably Sabonis, Harrison Barnes, Keegan Murray, Kevin Huerter, De'Aaron Fox.
Sean Holmes not starting over fucking.
You got to put Sabonis at the 5, right?
I guess so. I mean, he's a good rebounder. Damn, that's a small team. It's going to be fun, but I think Rashawn Holmes sneaks his way into that starting lineup. If he's not already starting, because we haven't watched him in the preseason. But I don't know, bro.
Fuck that. Go all in on the spacing. Put Harrison Barnes at the 4. Score 117 points a game and give up 118.
And their over-under for wins is only 33.5, which is like dumb low. Like, I'm going way over on that shit, bro. The Kings got it this year, I think. I think they finally got it. Who's the coach, though? Still Luke Walton?
No. They fired Dave Yeager, Luke Walton. Who is the coach right now of the Kings? Jesus Christ.
I'm looking, but this fucking Basketball Reference is showing me all the assistant coaches and not the head coach. What the fuck?
Where's Mike Brown coaching right now?
Ooh.
Is it Mike Brown?
Mike Brown? Yeah, it's Mike Brown. You said it. I was like, yeah, it's fucking Mike Brown. Mike Brown's a pretty good coach. Yeah, I think they're definitely 10. 33.5 is low. I feel like Vegas might change that and sneak it on us, but I like Sacramento, bro. Their roster's pretty good.
They're going to sneak into the play-in and have some excitement for the first time in 25 years, much to the chagrin of Portland fans who went all in to not make the play-in. Speaking of another team that went all in, who's going to be in the play-in, Terry, my 9th team in the West is the Los Angeles Lakers. Their big additions this offseason were Patrick Beverley, Thomas Bryant, and Lonnie Walker. I think Thomas Bryant can play as a 5-out center. He could shoot threes and space the court. That'll be useful. Anthony Davis, I don't see a true center on the roster. We've heard now for 12 seasons in a row that you're going to get your big ass down the block and play center. I'll believe it when I see it. He was the worst shooter in the entire NBA last season, Davis. LeBron had to take a gigantic offensive load on his shoulders. And I just don't see Patrick Beverley and Lonnie Walker being the offensive difference makers to take some of this burden off LeBron. I think this team is destined for the play-in as long as Russell Westbrook is on the roster. And that's really their only means of getting better. If he plays, they're going to be worse. Like, they shouldn't even give him a jersey number this season. Be like, no, you just get a practice jersey that says Lakers on it. No numbers, no name on the back. You don't dress for game day. You run the fucking scout team with the white guy who does acrobatic layups on TikTok. Matt McClung. Yeah.
Hey, look, man. I would like to also say, though, some names that you probably will like. Juan Toscano Anderson is on the team.
No, don't like it.
You don't like Juan? Juan,
no.
A little scrappy? Not at all? Nothing for you? He does nothing?
Nah.
And then
you remember his dunk contest performance? How electric that was, Terry?
That was just a dunk contest. In the games, though, I kind of liked them in the games, but you can't get tricked with these Warriors guys because they have a different system than literally every single person in the NBA. So,
to me, Juan Toscano Anderson is Taylor Horton Tucker who can't dribble.
I don't know. He plays better defense than Taylor Horton Tucker. Taylor Horton Tucker is like one of the worst defenders I've ever seen. Like, it's just fucking weird. And he's really tall, too. He kind of reminded me of Donovan Mitchell. I was just like, can you give me some effort, bro? Like, you have to play defense to stay on the court.
He's like, I'm a point forward. It's optional. I'm light-skinned Lamar Odom. I don't play defense.
Juan Toscano Anderson is okay, but the Dennis Schroeder shit is weird. And what's funny is in some of these preseason games, they got Westbrook coming off the bench, which I don't hate. If he can embrace that shit, that actually might be dope for him. Because I saw him.
He doesn't need to come off the bench, Terry. He needs to stay on the bench. Don't come into the game.
Bro, but if he's your sixth man, though, and he doesn't play anytime LeBron and Beverly are on the court, he's not on the court, I actually fuck with that, though. I'm not going to lie.
Then why did we sign Dennis Schroeder?
I guess he's starting. They got Westbrook coming off the bench.
Pat Bev and Schroeder going to start? No.
I don't know, man.
No.
Who's starting? Austin Reeves?
There's nothing for Russell Westbrook to do on this Lakers team. Patrick Beverly is the starter. Dennis Schroeder is the backup point guard. You're a fucking cheerleader with pom-poms who gets roasted on Undisputed.
So who's going to start the shooting guard, bro? You got to pick. It's between
It's going to be Lonnie Walker.
Ugh, Lonnie Walker, bro. Can he shoot, though?
Yeah, it's hot and cold.
31% from three? No. I'm good.
Yeah. He's a streaky guy.
He's going to be the dude that LeBron yells at. That's going to be the guy. I'm going to go ahead and call that.
Yeah.
LeBron
Real talk.
Him shoot the fucking ball. Even when
That's a good call.
Yeah.
I just think that this roster is going nowhere until they make a trade. I think that they are going to make a trade, but I can't predict how they're going to finish until they make that trade. So
Oh no!
if you think LeBron is sticking around like for his last 2 years in LA with this roster and them holding on to those 2 first-round picks, you're out of your goddamn mind. You don't have LeBron James and Anthony Davis, so you could fuck around and make the play-in and not put your chips on the table. That's not how you run a franchise.
I don't think LeBron is leaving though, bro. He ain't going nowhere. But here's a couple things I got to say about it though. LeBron moved his whole family over there, bro. Like he got the boys to go to Sierra Canyon. He said he's staying. Like literally, he's like, I'm chilling. Like I'm not going anywhere. That's one. The other one is
He'll just go to the Clippers when Kawhi's contract runs out in a year.
Yeah, but not deadass. He said I'm just staying in LA. But the other thing is, for the last 3 fucking seasons, we've been like, well, if Anthony Davis is healthy, they're going to be really good. I mean, dude gets hurt, so Lakers are going to suck. Their over-under for wins is 45.5, bro. That's fucking high.
Under.
That's high, bro. I don't know about this. LA, they're a train wreck too, but they're a really fun one. It's just really fun watching LeBron just his body language every fucking game.
It's going to be great. Yo, it already started with Westbrook not participating in the huddle, like pregame. Yeah. It's already started, Terry. It's already started.
Bro, why the fuck would I join a fucking huddle with Patrick Beverly? I hate him. He hurt me. He, like, purposely hurt me. Like, everyone's calling a timeout in that situation. Just let me call the timeout. You're going to act like you're going to get a steal? That's bullshit. Bush.
Tell you what, you don't join my huddle again, I'm going to hurt you again. You're going to learn today.
In practice. That's so fucking foul, bro.
Hey. If it worked for the Warriors, that they punch each other in practice, why would it work for the Lakers?
That's true. And that's what I was about to say. Are the Lakers a candidate for Draymond Green?
They are. They absolutely are. It would have to be a 3-way trade in which Westbrook goes to the Pacers, Draymond Green goes to the Lakers, and then Miles Turner goes to the Warriors. But they absolutely are in play. And then that would change the complexion of their entire team. With Draymond Green, I would give them a bigger chance. I think him and Thomas Bryant together gives them a lot more flexibility on their front line. Again, the question is the guards, but if you can bump LeBron up a position because you get Draymond and he can assume more of those point guard duties, they may be able to get out of hot water a bit. But either way, this team is not winning a championship. They'd be lucky to win a playoff series. And according to me, they're going straight to the play-in.
Yeah, man. I don't know. Westbrook deserves all the slander he's getting, though, right? We're not being a little too harsh on him. All right. It's just, it's so sad, bro. He's kind of reminding me of, Iverson at the end of his career. Like, he just played for fucking Detroit, went back to the Sixers, played for Memphis. It's just I don't know. Westbrook just looks like shit, man. It's unfortunate, bro. Great talent, but he sucks. Lakers at 9. All right. Keep it moving.
Lakers at 9. Now in the 8th spot. If you thought the Blazers were mad about 10 or 11 and the Lakers were mad about 9, wait till you hear the outcry from this fan base about where I put them. From first to the worst team that would have made the playoffs, the Phoenix Suns are my number 8 team in the West.
Here we go.
Terry, since we saw Jose Alvarado steal CP3's heart, Ayton was benched in the Eastern Conference Finals. They haven't talked to their coach. They lost JaVale McGee to go start for the Mavericks, Elfrid Payton, Aaron Holiday, Frank Kaminsky, and now Jay Crowder. They've made no effort to replace those players. Jalen Smith is on the Pacers, despite him being a helpful part that they declined his rookie option for no reason whatsoever.
Got it.
Everyone in the West got better this year who's trying to win games and make the playoffs. and they just lost 5 rotation players. Their best player is 37 years old. Their number 1 draft pick doesn't talk to their coach and doesn't have a place in the offense, and there's question about his role. The glue guy, Jay Crowder, who's been on championship teams everywhere he's went, on competitive teams, Eastern Conference Finals, Western Conference Finals teams, wants out the door. And they took the worst shot selection in the entire NBA last year, living off an entire diet of mid-range pull-up jump shots for Devin Booker and Chris Paul. I don't see that repeating. They were one of the worst teams at finishing at the rim. They were one of the worst teams at shooting threes. Their defense is going to be greatly diminished without Jay Crowder and with Cam Johnson sliding up to that spot. Aaron Holiday was a solid defensive contributor. And, of course, Chris Paul hobbled in the playoffs. His health is a question once again.
Every time. Ooh. All right. I can give a little pushback. Chris Paul is still fucking really good. Devin Booker is also really good. And I think Ayton is going to get some return, bro. I don't know if they're going to be 8th, dude. Like, if you're going to trade Ayton, you're going to get something back because they're not trying to lose. Like, that's not.
Well, they can't trade him until January.
Well, when they trade him, they're going to get somebody back. Even if he has to play. So he's still going to be good. He's not going to try to tout himself and then get.
I'm sorry. What about James Jones's history as a GM makes you feel confident that they're going to get something back for DeAndre Ayton? At what point during his tenure did you draw that conclusion?
They went to the finals. What the fuck you talking about? He's a bad
CP3, baby. All on the backs of CP3. And Terry, I didn't even mention their owner was forced to sell the team. It's still in limbo. Who's going to buy it? They don't even know who their boss is going to be by the All-Star break. Who's going to be signing their checks? And they lost to the Adelaide 36ers with all of their starters by double digits.
Hey, man. 8 seed is crazy, bro. A 1-8 with pretty much the same roster is – I just don't see it, man. I don't see that, man.
We saw the Hawks go from the Eastern Conference Finals to a play-in team. They won the play-in to go to the next. This pathway is possible. We saw it with the Blazers before when they fell off. 2 small guards, injury problems, chemistry issues, coaching issues, players demanding trades, unsettled starting lineup, a bench who I can't point to a single player as a contributor besides Dario Saric, who hasn't been healthy in 18 months.
Yeah, he's back now.
This is not a good team. It's not a good team anymore. They're going to be decent just by virtue of Booker and CP3, but are they going to be good enough to win a playoff series? I don't think so. They're the 8th seed in the West.
They got a few problems. I think they really need a backup point guard. They should have got fucking Dennis Schroeder. I feel like he was the perfect candidate to go there. They kind of fucked that up, but I can't see them being lower than a 6th seed with Chris Paul and Devin Booker, bro. And this fucking narrative that Alvarado stole Chris Paul's fucking heart. Come on, bro. Stop it. Like, do I have to read the numbers out for you one more time, or are you just good? You good on it?
Exposed.
Chris Paul now. It's
Exposed.
Over.
Exposed.
14 for 14. Perfect from the line, from the 3-point line. All field goals in the 2-point area. 33 points, 8 assists. Game 6. Pelicans. See you later. Bye-bye.
And then all that effort. It's like running the ball. All right? It adds up in the fourth quarter. All those hits. All that getting checked 94 feet, all that adds up on 37-year-old knees. And after 11 games of that, they break down. That's what the moral of that story is.
Stop.
But we're not talking about the playoffs, Terry. We're talking about the regular season. And if we're just looking on paper, no other teams that are expecting to be winning playoff series have this many problems on their team, straight up. The Phoenix Suns have too many problems. They're problematic, and that's why they're probably going to be the 8th seed in the West.
If Devin Booker still gets 27 a game, I don't see them being bad. That's all I got to say about that. But we can keep it moving.
Well, I still see them being beneath the team that beat them in the Western Conference Finals, coming in as my number 7 team in the West, the Dallas Mavericks.
Wow. This is insane. These are 2 teams that are way too low for me. All right, keep it going. Let me hear it. 7? Go for it.
I understand the talk about their floor. They got a high floor, and I'll agree with you with that. Any combination of Luka Doncic with a rim runner, 2 3-and-D guys, and a playmaking guard, that's a formula that we've seen them go to the Western Conference Finals with.
Yeah.
The problem is Spencer Dinwiddie is not Jalen Brunson. He's a lot stupider and makes a lot worse decisions frequently, all the time. Christian Wood is not Bielitsa and makes a bunch of stupid decisions frequently, all the time. JaVale McGee is the guy who they're now counting on to start at their center position. We've seen his history as a starter, and why not to be optimistic about that?
Or 36 is crazy.
I just think Luka is good enough that, like, if you just put two 3-and-D guys around and one guy who can dunk, I don't care if it's fucking Powell or if it's JaVale McGee, that team is going to win 40 games minimum. And if Dinwiddie can figure out a little bit of stuff and give him some juice, I think they'll make the playoffs as a play-in team in the 7th seed. Who knows what happens after that? But I think the lack of secondary ball handling and playmaking, the Tim Hardaway Juniors and the Spencer Dinwiddies of the world, will ultimately be in the Achilles heel for this team.
Yeah, I don't know, bro. I think, honestly, what you said, I agree with everything you said. I agree with you 100%. I'm with you on that. It's just that Luka Doncic is fucking good, man. He's really fucking he's one of the best players I've seen in a while, dog. So I don't know. If everybody kind of stays, and Tim Hardaway Jr. really is like one of the bigger ones, but I mean, like, if you're throwing out Hardaway Jr., Reggie Bullock, fucking Maxi Kleber, is he still on the fucking team?
Nope.
Yeah. He's not? He is.
No,
right?
I'm sorry. I was thinking of Bielitsa. I get those guys confused sometimes.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, but, like, if you throw them out there with Christian Wood, maybe. I mean, that's a lot of shooting around for Doncic, dog. That's a lot of shooting, a lot of spreading it out. That's easy money. Doncic, that's 50 points a game.
That's 45 wins. That's 45 wins right there.
But if he's going to be a top 3 player, bro, like, just riddle me this. So, like, if he plays, like, better than Jokic, if he plays better than Embiid, if he's on the same level as them, Dallas is going to be really good.
That's the part that I don't see. And he's, for the second season in a row, the odds-on favorite for MVP.
Yeah, he's like the 5th best player in the league, I think.
Yeah, I think we're too high on Luka. Playoffs are a different thing. Regular season's another. We've never seen him start the season in, like, elite shape. He's never come in, like, he always works himself into form and loses 10 pounds over the first 2 months of the season. Now, he did play in the Eurobasket and all that type of shit, so maybe he stayed in shape a little bit longer this summer. But
he's in better shape. Yeah,
I'm not expecting Luka to come out the gate hot. He hasn't his whole career. He takes a while to round into form, and I suspect it'll be the same this season.
Yeah, probably. We'll see. I don't know. He's really good. We can go with it, but I'll give you the number, though, to see if it's too high or too low. Over-under for Dallas, 48.5 wins.
Under.
All right.
I think they're a 45, 46 win team. Now, here in the West, these, like, the Suns, excuse me, I don't want to give away the rest of my list, but there are a lot of teams kind of like 3 through 8 who I think may be separated by like 6 games. I think it's going to be really, really close when it comes down to it.
It's a lot more tough wins this year in the West than opposed to last year when, the Denver Nuggets won almost 50 games with no one on the fucking team except for Jokic. So we'll see how it goes, man.
Yeah, I don't think we see that this year. The league is too good.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Double burp, Terry. That's what Dallas's backcourt is, a double burp. Tim Hardaway Jr. and Spencer Dinwiddie.
Yeah, I don't know.
This next team that I want to talk about, their backcourt is not a double burp.
Number 6.
In fact, I don't even think they know what it is because the injuries during the season last year caused a lot of roles to be changed. A lot of different guys had to step up. Are they going to have the same opportunity this year? Is the same amount of shots going to be there for everybody? For my number 6 team in the West, I'm taking the Memphis Grizzlies, who finished number 2 last season. They went like 22-4 without Ja Morant during that stretch. Yeah. They returning 8 of their 9 top players who played minutes in their rotation. And everyone's saying, why can't Memphis win the West? Why can't it be Memphis this year? Well, for me, the reasons are simple. Dylan Brooks shoots too much and thinks he's the second best player on the team. Jaren Jackson Jr. can't stop fouling to stay on the court. And when he's on the court, he can't punish mismatches, and all he can do is shoot threes. Zaire Williams and John Conchar, everyone's just like expecting them to play 25, 30 minutes a game next season and be like solid NBA players. There's a long list of guys who look good in 10 minutes, and then you put them in 30 or 25 and they don't look as good. The first 36 All-Stars who we've talked about over the last decade.
Yep.
And then, they're expecting these Grizzlies, like every year we have rookies who come in and just play so well. Like our rookies play so well. Well, they took a bunch of like odd body guys who had weird roles in college. Nobody could really project how they would fit in the NBA. And then now they just have like a collection of it's like an island of misfit toys over there.
Yeah.
The biggest question for me in the Grizzlies, and why I'm not picking them to finish higher, is I don't know their identity. Who's the second best player on the team? And when Ja Morant is loaded up on and the focus of all the opposing defense is on him, who's going to be the person to propel them to the next level? If you watch the playoffs, you would think it's Dylan Brooks, who took more shots than Ja Morant in their last 3 games.
Yeah.
If you read the analytics, you'd think it's Desmond Bane, who was second in the NBA in three-point percentage and heavily increased his game. If you were a draft guy, you'd say it's Jaren Jackson Jr., who the team picked number 2 over Luka and Trae Young. I just think there's too many questions with this team. There aren't enough defined roles. And it's one of those few times where it's like it's too much of a good thing. You have too many guys who expect to play. You have too many guys who expect to get shots. You have too many guys who expect to have a significant role in the team. And I think this team should have done some type of consolidation move in the offseason. Maybe instead of letting DeAnthony Melton and Slow-Mo go, you could package them and Dylan Brooks for an impact player. They did none of that. They lost Anderson. They lost Melton, 2 of their core rotation pieces. And they're just like, everyone will just organically grow and become that much better. I think that's a little too optimistic. I think Grizzlies fans must be wearing the same glasses you got on right now. I'm picking them to finish 6th in the West next season.
All right, another one. 6, really low. It's just very fucking interesting, bro. Like, Luka Doncic at 7. It's a little crazy. He's top 5 player. Ja Morant at the 6th spot with 3 legitimate number 3 options, I would say. Dylan Brooks, Desmond Bane, and Jaren Jackson Jr. are all like 3rd option guys. And you got 3 of them on one fucking team. I don't know if I see them 6. They're really good defensively as well. Ja is special. And if he can stay healthy, that's always a thing for him. And actually, a lot of the top 10 guys, the health shit is kind of weird. But also, Jaren Jackson played 78 games. That was a big reason why they kind of stayed afloat, too. He's a legitimate number 2.
Did he play? How many minutes did he average this past season, though, in those 78 games? Can we look that up?
Yeah, let me see. I mean, he probably played 30 minutes a game.
I doubt he played 30 minutes. I doubt he played 30 minutes.
27.3, dude. He does foul out a lot. It's fucking crazy. So I don't know, bro. And they still got Steven Adams, right?
Just signed an extension.
I think the roster's too good for them to go that low, dog. But the West is a little better. But Memphis's roster is better than most of the guys that you think are going to be on top of them. So I don't know. 6 is low, but just a guesstimation. It's not. I don't see it. It could happen. It's a possibility.
I'll say this: their 3 through 10 is probably the best in the NBA.
That's what you need to win in the regular season, too, bro. So
yeah, but your 1 through 3 is not.
Ja is really fucking good, though. Ja's what, top 6?
Yep.
7? Is he the 7th best or is he the 6th best? I mean, you got
no. He's not even top 10. Get the fuck out of here, Terry. Are you high right now? Are you fucking high out of your mind? You say Ja's a top 6 player?
6 or 7? You don't think so?
Fuck no.
What he come? Wasn't he like 3rd in MVP last year? What are we doing here?
Does MVP voting actually mean you're the 3rd best player in the league? Did we watch him get strapped by Anthony Edwards in the playoffs?
No, come on.
No, we didn't. We didn't watch him get strapped back. We didn't watch him take a back seat to his teammate who shot him out of the series.
Brooks. That's not on Ja.
Okay.
Dylan Brooks just shot the ball. What's he
All
supposed
right,
to do?
you think LeBron James is gonna let Russell Westbrook shoot them out of the fucking in a no, dude. I'm sorry. This is too early. It's too early with Luka. It's too early with Ja. Excuse me. What has Ja Morant done to put him above Trae Young? Trae Young led the NBA in points and assists last season and took his team to the Eastern Conference Finals, who lost against the eventual champions.
That's one fluke
What did
season,
Ja Morant do?
One fluke season. Come on now. And we saw the
All right, one fluke season then. Then one fluke season. What did Ja Morant do before the season? If we're going to say one fluke season.
A second seed is way more legitimate than beating the shit Knicks.
Regular season. So now you're saying regular season counts more than playoffs. That's more of a fluke. No. Finishing high like Utah with regular season wins makes you a better team than teams that beat them in the playoffs. That's what you're saying right now.
Who did the Hawks beat in that playoff?
They beat the number one seed in the NBA, the Philadelphia 76ers, who had the MVP.
Fucking one of the players that you hate, probably the most in NBA history.
I'm sorry. Hawks weren't favored in either one of their series. They were the underdogs in both, and they were a Trae Young ankle turn away by the officials from reaching the NBA Finals. They blew out the Bucks in games Trae Young was healthy. Get the fuck out of here with this Ja Morant top 6 player nonsense. He's not in the top 10. He'll be lucky to make the top 15.
Give me 10 players better than Ja. I can only say probably Jokic, Steph, Giannis, maybe Luka. I feel like him and Luka are almost around the same.
What?
Tatum? You saying Tatum is better than him? So Tatum is better than Ja Morant.
I'm sorry, dude. You made me go Bob the Builder on the whole fucking studio. I just broke this fucking desk like I was on the Jim Rome show. I flipped this shit so quick.
Yeah,
you call me fucking Chris Everett.
Oh. So Ja being the 7th best is crazy?
Yes. It's wildly crazy. Yes, it's wildly crazy. He's never a man who's never been to his conference finals is the 7th best player in the NBA in his 3rd season, Terry. In his 3rd season, never made a conference finals game.
Who's better than him?
No, we're not doing this. That's a different podcast. If you want to do top 10, we'll do that another time. You can't just drop fucking random numbers in here and be like, Jalen Green is a top 35 player in the NBA. Fuck Jalen Green. Okay? I got the same energy for Ja Morant.
Bro, this is Ja Morant's
Also, I lost my phone somehow in the consternation, too. I got to get my phone.
Look. Just, can you hear me? That's all I need.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Look, all I'm saying is, but I want you to hear me clearly, all right? So, if a player is coming into his 4th season, this is Ja Morant's 4th season coming up, Ja Morant averaged 27 points a game. That's a shitload of points. That's a lot of fucking points. Going into his 4th season. I'm just saying he's not top 7 guy in the league, bro. He's not a top 7 guy in the league. You can't say
Trae Young average more. Did Trae Young, if we're just going by averages, did Trae Young average more points and assists than Ja Morant in his 3rd season?
Trae Young's defense is horrible. Stop it.
Did he also take him to? Wait a minute. Is Trae Young's defense that much worse than Ja Morant's?
It's definitely worse. All I'm saying is, if you think Trae Young is better than Ja Morant, then we're on totally different pages, and we can just move on to the number 5th team that you think.
I think that they're in the same tier, and neither one of them belongs in the top 6. Neither one.
I at 7 isn't crazy, and I know there's a lot of people that are going to agree with that. Come on now. If somebody's in MVP talks, Trae Young's not in MVP talks, bro. Come on.
Just because Kendrick Perkins retweets what you said and says carry the hell on, don't mean you're right, Terry. Okay? I don't care. Listen, man.
MVP talks, bro. Come on.
I don't care what anybody else says, bro. My eyes have seen the glory of the bouncing of the basketball. All right, no, you're talking to the
NBA media cares about. Dude almost won MVP last year.
Don't care. You know what? I'm the same guy who said Jokic is going to be the best player in his draft class after 15 games. I'm the same guy who said Giannis was going to be the best player after 15 games. I'm the same guy who said I would have picked CJ McCollum in the top 3. Okay? I'm the same guy. I don't give a fuck what everyone else thinks. These eyes watch basketball, and they know what's going on the court. And so that's the reason.
Ja Morant, to you, with your eyes, Ja Morant was not an MVP candidate last year.
He was. Because you're an MVP candidate for one season does not make you a top 10 player in the NBA. He was. Yeah. There's nothing to take away from his candidacy. He was great last year.
Keep
all right?
moving. Number 5.
Yeah. You could be top 6 on Terry's list, but you won't be top 6 in the West next season. Okay?
This is insane. Go ahead.
Hey, you know why he's finishing at 6, Terry, and not at 5?
Keep going. Go.
Because there are better players who play for other teams. And one of them, the big dog, is going to eat. I'm taking the New Orleans Pelicans to make the 5 seed in the West. Zion Williamson is back. CJ McCollum is integrated to the squad. Brandon Ingram is probably the most creative third banana in the NBA. Herb Jones has 16 arms like an octopus and guards everyone on the perimeter. Jose Alvarado ruined CP3's career. Trey Murphy is an excellent 3-and-D guy. Jonas Valanciunas, one of the best post-up players in the league, one of the best players defeating switches in the league. He also made a 3.5 a game last season, shooting 38%. Larry Nance Jr., fantastic glue guy, plays small ball center, terrific passer from the elbow, can block shots, dunk, and make threes, and facilitate. And then the rest of the roster is filled with players who would be rotation players on any other team in the NBA. And I didn't even talk about the rookies they drafted. This team is loaded. This team is talented. This team is getting back an all-time talent who's the reason that your boy, Ja Morant, Mr. Top 6 himself, didn't go number 1, was this guy right here. He comes back this season, reestablishes the pecking order. He looks Ja right in the face and goes, I am him. That's why the Pelicans finish above them this season.
I agree with you 100% on everything you just said. But I would like to say one thing. Zion Williamson just rolled the shit out of his ankle and is now a day-to-day and might miss the first 2 weeks of the season. So
for a rolled ankle? Come on, man. Get the fuck out of here.
Unfortunately, I mean, if he rolled it bad, he rolled it pretty bad. Not gonna fake.
Whatever. Even if he misses 5 games, who gives a fuck? There's still 77 more for you to go play in.
If he misses,
the last time we saw him on a basketball court, he was like an unstoppable offensive force, the likes of which we haven't seen since Shaq.
He's a beast. But what are we gonna do with this whole Brandon Ingram thing, though? What are we doing with that? You know, it's gonna be a problem.
He either steps up and finds his role, or he gets traded for an elite, better fit. I think Brandon Ingram's he's probably I picked him as my NBA star, most likely to be traded going into this season.
That is facts.
He's not going to be traded for chump change like Russell Westbrook. I tell you that much right now. A fucking 24-year-old all-star who's got a 7-foot wingspan and is like a 50, 38, 85 guy. Those guys don't grow on trees. If they do trade him, they're going to get somebody good back for him. So either way, trade him or don't trade him. Pelicans are going to be nice this season.
If Zion misses, well, let's just be conservative. If he misses 15 games, which is not unrealistic, are the Pelicans still going to be a 5th seed?
Yes.
You think everybody on that team is
I'm really high on them. And you saw how well they played in the playoffs last year, even without Zion.
They were good. They were good. I think, honestly, I think we agree on that shit, though. Because, that team took the Suns, who are a really good fucking team, and they didn't have any problems that any of us knew about last year.
Yeah. The Pelicans created the problems.
They took him to 6, so I think everything you're saying is legitimate, and I agree with it. But I just hope Zion plays 70 games. That's all I hope. You know, if he plays 70, we're there. But I just think he's just
if Zion, if he could play 65 games and not be as bad as Trae Young on defense, they're making the 5 seed minimum. This is conservative. If everything clicks with the Pelicans, they could be a top 3 seed. I'm picking them 5.
If Zion plays 40 games this year, is he a bust?
No.
Is he too good to be a bust because he had one season in which he was a top 15 player?
Yeah. Well, actually, I don't know. It's tough. Was Grant Hill a bust?
Nah, he played too long, dude. He played way too long.
I don't know. Was Sean Livingston a bust?
Yeah. He got drafted like top 10, I think. Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know. It's an interesting conversation. Was Devin Harris a bust? All right, I'm done. I'm done.
5 is high, bro. 5 is high. All right, hold on. Pelicans over under 44.5, which is kind of high for me.
I'm taking it up. I think they're like a 48-win team, 47, something like that.
Pelicans play-in odds are pretty fucking tasty to me. 7 to 10. That's all I'm saying.
Goddamn.
Yeah, 7 to 10 seed. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
I might make both bets, play-in and playoffs, just to hedge my shit.
Yeah. Hey, all right. 5 seed for them. Keep it going, boss. Number 4 in the West. And I didn't hear a name that I should have heard a while ago. Just saying.
No. I know how you like to do with him. I already told you the roadmap for them. You already know how I feel about the regular season version of that.
I know.
But we're not getting to them yet, Terry. They're higher up the board. I tried to tell you earlier. All right?
This is insane. Keep going.
Number 4 on my team, or on in my rankings of the Western Conference NBA teams, comes a team that has more questions than answers, but plenty of depth to sort it out. The Los Angeles Clippers. They got the deepest roster in the West, a 2-time Finals MVP in Kawhi Leonard, an All-NBA player in Paul George. They're versatile. They're extremely well coached. We talked before about their backup bigs. And Terry, they kind of answered the question Tyronn Lue did after we recorded that podcast. Ty Lue divulged to the media after their 3rd preseason game that he expects Robert Covington to be the backup center for the Los Angeles Clippers next season. Now, at first, I was like, this is a terrible idea. Robert Covington is a small forward masquerading as a power forward, masquerading as a guy who's good on defense. But I looked up his block rate last season, and it was like nearly 10%, which would have been top 10 in the whole NBA. And his rim protection numbers are actually really good. So that made me hardened about the Clippers. They have the 2nd best odds in the whole NBA right now, in the whole league. And that's the thing I don't understand. You're welcoming back Kawhi Leonard, who hasn't played basketball in 2 seasons. His point guard is going to be John Wall, who hasn't played basketball in 3 seasons since he fell up a flight of steps.
Looks good in preseason, though. I can't lie on that. He
does look good.
He doesn't look prime, but he still looks really good.
And then the other thing I said this about the Grizzlies. It's like they may have too many guys. Like the Clippers are so deep it could fuck up their chemistry. Where it's like, what are you going to play? 13 guys, 11 minutes a game? No. You know what I mean? So
the only rebuttal I do have for that is most of those dudes are veterans and they want to win a championship. The only person really that isn't is what's the dude's name? Terrence Mann? Or is Terrence Mann?
Terrence Mann. Yep.
Yeah, so he might be the only one that would complain because everybody else is a veteran. I think they'll be okay as far as that is concerned. But keep going.
You're right. I'm sure Reggie Jackson will be the consummate professional.
If John Wall's ahead of you and he's playing like John Wall, shut the fuck up, Reggie. He's good, though. Reggie Jackson is good, but...
Yeah. You remember when he thought he was better than Russell Westbrook? I'm sure he thinks of himself as worse than John Wall, who hasn't played basketball in 2 years, while he was torching Luka in the playoffs.
We'll see.
I'm sure that won't be an issue at all.
How good do you think Reggie Jackson is? Top 20?
Yeah. Right there. Right about there.
He's good, man. I think he's a good point guard, bro. I'm not going to fake it.
Yeah.
If you got a combination of him and John Wall, that's pretty good. But
it's a lot of injury questions. And then again, it's like, are we going to get What's the total number of games we're going to get from Kawhi Leonard and Paul George?
That's the biggest question for them. But honestly, bro, like
if it's 120, this might be low. Yeah. If it's 100, this might be high.
Yeah, I don't know, bro. Like, I love Kawhi. I do. He's definitely not the same defender as he was. He's still really good on offense, but he's a baby back bitch when it comes to injuries. It's no getting around it. When he gets hurt, he doesn't want to play. There's evidence of it all over. Like, he just doesn't.
Except for when he won the championship in Orlando being hurt. Okay.
He knew he had a chance to get the chip. That's it.
Right. That ain't being a baby back bitch. He put in like the best finals performance since Michael Jordan hurt. Like, what are you talking about right now?
Did he not miss a whole season because of a quad? A whole season for a quad is wild as fuck. Now, I do agree with that Toronto shit, but every other evidence is saying that if I'm hurt, I'm not playing. So I'll give you that.
He's like, if I'm hurt and I'm on a shit team, I'm not playing. If I'm hurt and we can win the championship, I'll play. Bro, the Spurs weren't going nowhere that season, dude. Everyone knows they shot their lot.
They won 62 games the season before, and they pretty much brought everyone back. Like, come on, dog.
Everyone but Tim Duncan, who was over there in the Bahamas twisting his hair up.
Who was playing like fucking 20 minutes a game that season. Like, overrated. Get out of here, bro. It's overstated how much impact he had. But anyway,
so do you think the Clippers are going to be worse than 4 or better than 4? What's your disagreement here? What's your beef, Terry?
I think 4 is the ceiling. So that's the cap, bro. They're fucking. You answered all the questions and you stated all the questions as well. It's like Kawhi, don't know. Paul George gets hurt a lot too, and he, of course, like I said, missed the fucking play-in game with COVID like a dumbass, but it was one game. Let me see what else. Reggie Jackson is a fucking crazy person. John Wall didn't play 2 full seasons.
Yep.
I don't know, bro. Too many questions, dude.
I feel you, dude. Just at the end of the day, 4 quarters don't make $1, and they at least have 2 50-cent pieces, if not 75-cent pieces in Kawhi and Paul George. And when we talk about the other teams that are similar that everyone's so high on, like the Grizzlies, it's like the Grizzlies and the Clippers are basically the same, except the second best player on the Clippers is Paul George.
Yeah.
Like, they got the depth. They got the top 2. Like, if everything breaks right, Paul George and Kawhi are 2 top 10 players in the NBA. They got the juice. Can they put it together?
The only thing for me is I just hate the Clippers because they've had the best roster in the league for the past 4 fucking seasons. So either be good or don't. Like, get the fuck out of here.
And by the way, 4 years later, was this like the worst trade in NBA history? Like, they were supposed to change LA to becoming Clippers town, and Kawhi Leonard was doing commercials saying, "I'm the king of LA. The king has arrived," and all this shit. And then the Lakers win a chip in their first season, and then we never even got to see the Clippers and the Lakers in the playoffs.
We probably never will.
Every moment the Clippers have had to show up, they folded like a fucking cheap tent.
Yeah.
So
I mean, they were.
That's why I thought I was being low on them, but you're even lower than me. They have the second best odds in the whole NBA. The whole NBA. And I faded them to 4th. But you're saying could have faded them farther.
They just never put it together. The Clippers are a cursed franchise. Like, I don't know what you got to do with the stench of Donald Sterling, but I think it's going to be another 20, 30 years before they win a chip. They're just not going to win. Their over-under is 52.5. They've always had, like, the highest expectations, and they have not met it for one single fucking season. And why should they do it again? 4 years later, when every single person is 4 years older, I mean, have the same expectations? Fuck no. Are you kidding me? Like, what are we doing? I'm not stupid. I'm just not going to be like, yeah, they're going to run it back and do the same shit. No, they're going to fucking suck. 4 is the ceiling for the Clippers. I love it. I'll take it. I thought you were going to go 2 seed or something.
It makes sense if you forgot that Nick Batum turned into Benjamin Button.
I will say this, though. Batum played crazy. I don't understand that shit. Robert Covington, was he not the small ball 5 when Houston went super small?
He was. Yeah.
So there's evidence of him. He's a good dude. I like him. So we'll see. 4 is still the ceiling. I don't care.
That's a good call, Terry, with Robert Covington and the Rockets. Well, let me move on, Terry, from a team that has more questions than answers to a team that has more answers than questions, at least in the regular season. Finishing as my number 3 team in the Western Conference. You've been waiting for it the whole show. The Minnesota Timberwolves.
Oh.
Rudy Gobert added to this team is a 50-plus win team, and that's just a fucking fact. That's the whole basis for my argument, that you can put Rudy Gobert on a regular season with competent parts, and they're going to win a bunch of games. They got Anthony Edwards, who everyone is pegging to ascend to superstardom this season, talking about him like he's a guaranteed all-star. They added in Kyle Anderson to provide some extra juice on the ball and pick and roll, also a terrific perimeter defender for them. They added Wendell Moore in the draft to give them some toughness. Karl Anthony Towns is going to be able to take advantage of smaller players and mismatches. The infrastructure is there. They have an identity. They know how they're going to play come week 1.
Yeah.
They know how the pieces are going to fit together. They know what defensive coverage they're going to play all season long.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think it's they're well coached by Chris Finch, who's actually knows what the fuck he's doing. And I just think everything's set up for this team to win a ton of games in the regular season and then get dumped out early in the playoffs like they always love to do. The Minnesota Timberwolves, this year's Utah Jazz.
Oh, man, number 3 is high, dude. I don't know about number 3, bro. If everything goes, honestly, I'm so locked in because this is the weirdest fucking playoff scenarios I've ever seen. Like, Phoenix at 8, Dallas at 7, Minnesota at 3. Like, is it like 2001? When was the last time fucking Minnesota was going to be a 3 seed? I don't know. The roster is constructed, I think, perfectly for the regular season, but I think a lot is still going to be on the shoulders of Anthony Edwards in his 3rd year. Like, I know we all think he's really fucking good, but that's a huge leap to be consistent for a decent amount of time to be a 3 seed in the regular season. I don't know, man. 3 is high, bro. I think 3 is too high. Rudy Gobert is good in the regular season. Cat is good as well. Anthony Edwards is good. D'Lo's defense is pretty shit. And who's their 3? Is it Vanderbilt? Who's going to be the 3 for them?
It might be slow-mo. It might be coming off the bench for them. They might just put in some shooter, some Torian Prince type or Tony Snell or something like that to just go space the court and play defense.
Maybe. I don't know. 3's high, but you got 3. I disagree. I like their play-in odds. I think the play-in odds are high for the Timberwolves.
Hell no. Listen, man, you don't trade 5 first-round picks and swaps to make the play-in. Or especially when didn't they make the play-in last year with Jared Vanderbilt?
They did.
You don't think Rudy Gobert's any better than Jared Vanderbilt?
Yeah, he is. I wasn't going to do that. I was like, Rudy Gobert's a Hall of Famer. I'm not going to do that to him. Yeah, he's good. They might do it. I don't know.
He's going to prove his regular season value. Once again, Rudy Gobert takes the team to 50 wins. I got nothing more to – oh, go ahead.
What do you think their over-under is for wins?
47?
49.5. You think that's high? If you're saying 47,
I'm saying they're going to be a 50-win team. So no, I don't think it's high.
Yeah, I was about to say, but like if you're just guessing 47, and I think you're probably just guessing for Vegas. I think for them to win the 3 seed, they got to at least get 53. I would say like 52, 53 wins. Because we got to also think the West is more loaded, so it's not gonna be someone's going to win 60 something.
Oh, it's definitely more loaded, Terry. It's definitely more loaded, and that brings me to my number 2 team in the Western Conference. They're coming off a championship.
Oh my God, bro!
They got the locker room. They got the locker.
The fucking Denver Nuggets are going to be the number 1 team in the West. This guy has lost his fucking mind.
Terry, who did I pick to win the West on John's show? On the sitting on the back of a book return joint for people to donate books. I picked them 2 years ago when they beat the Clippers in the bubble. I picked him then. I won't get off this note. No. First of all, we're not doing Nuggets yet. We're doing Warriors. All right? We're doing Warriors. Okay? They just won the championship. Steph Curry is going to be in God mode all season. He's got the confidence sky high. He's not going to be pressing to get any type of record or anything like that.
Yeah.
The anticipation is Wiggins builds on his career year. Jordan Poole just got rewarded with a nice fat contract. He should have some security. James Wiseman has emerged in preseason. He could be an answer to their pick and roll woes. And then, Moses Moody and Kuminga, they're expecting those guys to take a step up as well.
Yeah.
They're loaded with vets. They got improving young players. They got blue chip talent. They got one of the 3 best players in the NBA in Steph Curry. Could this Draymond punch divide their season? Could it propel them to having a new challenge that they accomplished everything last season, and this year, what are we even playing for? And now Draymond Green has a new objective, and he has to prove his way back, and all the cards are against him, and it could give them a new lease on life and a new type of energy and another thing to prove. At the same time, I think that Draymond violated his role as the protector and as the big brother. And I think that eventually is going to lead to Draymond Green getting traded. And if I were Joe Lacob and I were the Warriors ownership, I'd not be interested paying $500 million in a luxury tax bill next season so Draymond Green can opt into a $35 million contract.
Yeah.
I just think the punch may have turned the season upside down. And I would have picked them number 1 before it. After that, it gave me cause for pause, and I put them 2.
Eesh, number 2. I don't know, man. I think they're the best team in the league, bro. I think that it's going to be – Steph is a beast, bro. Clay is going to be back. Everybody seems to, in all athletics, be really good after, the second season after your ACL tear or whatever the fuck.
What if he's not, though? What if he's like the same Clay that we saw last year in the playoffs, and we just gave Jordan Poole as much money as him, and he's being more productive? We already saw kind of like the friction between Poole and Clay at times throughout the season in the last playoffs. With him feeling rewarded and feeling like he's arrived, that could potentially be another, stick in the spoke of the wheel of the Golden State Warriors. Maybe,
but I think Clay's on this right here. Clay's chill as fuck, bro. He ain't worried about that. He's got 4 rings. He's chilling. He does not give a flying fuck about that. He's a top 77 player in the league, giving him that fucking jersey. But dude's a beast. I think.
Wait a minute. Dwight Howard better not have been 76.
Top 75 player, bro. They fucked him on that one. But I think this roster is just too good. I think the punch might be overstated, possibly, but the real thing is the money, though, because Draymond is not worth max dollars. I don't care what anybody says. I don't even think, how is it a possibility that he's worth max dollars? Don't you have to make an All-NBA? Don't you have to make an All-Star team? Don't you have to get an award?
That's the Supermax. That's the Supermax.
Was he all defensive or some shit? Oh, so you can get a max, but not a Supermax.
Yep.
I don't think he's worth a max. I don't think he's worth a max, dude. That's kind of crazy. So you might be right, but I still think their team is really fucking good, man. It's gonna be tough to say them being number 2. I think they're the best team, bro. I think the only thing that'll hinder it would probably be
the Denver Nuggets. Oh
no, I'll say if Wiseman isn't as good as we think. They're still going to try to work him in and shit. That might fuck up shit just because you have to give him minutes to try to get with the team.
Dude, the other guy I could see not taking the expected leap is Kuminga. Everyone's just acting like Kuminga is going to be a positive player for them because he had these great flashes. And it's the majority of it is poor decision-making and brilliant athleticism.
No, that's facts. But, you don't give up.
And there's also a limit to how many non-shooters you could put out there with Steph and Clay. It's I know these guys are the 2 best shooters of all time, but you cannot put 3 other guys who can't shoot on the same floor as them and be Steph and Clay will just get all the spacing themselves. Basketball has evolved to a point where you can't get away with that shit.
I think you can. because they're literally what you said. They're the best shooters of all time. Like, they're number one and number two. Like, if they get away with the shit with Draymond on the court, I think they got it. I think they got it. Wiseman,
hey, you can get away with Draymond and Looney. Can't get away with Draymond, Looney, and Kuminga. It's not gonna work.
I mean, Iguodala, he ain't shooting well. He'll hit timely shots, but I mean, I don't know, bro. If you got what they got, Wiseman, Looney, Kuminga, Moody, DiVincenzo is not bad. They picked him up.
Yep.
Wiggins, Steph, Clay, Draymond. That's too good. That's nine players that are fucking good. I can't.
That's a 60-win team.
Yeah, they're number one, bro. This is wild as fuck for you, bro.
I'm not number one.
Just go ahead. Do your Denver thing. Do it. I'm already fucking pissed. Do your Denver thing.
Last season, Nikola Jokic and the the Denver Nuggets won 50 games. He won the MVP.
No,
Starting alongside him were guys who were like, whatever, man, 48 games. Basically 50 games. Motherfuckers was playing Austin Rivers, Zeke Naji, Bones Highland. When I talked about an island of misfit toys in the Memphis Grizzlies, Denver would have loved to have some of their misfit toys from Memphis. They were playing guys who are not in the NBA or not rotation players anymore, and Jokic is elevating them to nearly 50 wins. Jamal Murray's back. Michael Porter Jr. is back. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope is a fantastic fit as the three there. The last time we saw Aaron Gordon, Michael Porter Jr., Nikola Jokic, and Jamal Murray together, they were busy destroying the entire league until Murray's and Porter's injury. They have the best starting five in basketball. They have the best bench in basketball. They have the best sixth man in basketball in Bruce Brown, who's going to be a hand-in-glove fit with Nikola Jokic. Absolute perfect addition to put with him. They got all types of creators coming off the bench. This is a deep team. This is a talented team. This is a team whose starting five fits really, really well together. This is a team that could punish you in a multitude of ways, who almost play like a free-flowing soccer style out there on the basketball court, where any one of their five players can occupy any of the spaces in the half court. They're in constant motion. They're constantly manipulating the defense, putting them in bad situations. I think Jokic is going to win MVP for 3 years in a row and be the first player to do it. And I don't know how long. I think that they're going to have a 65-win season, and the Nuggets are going to be the best team in the NBA and are still going to be blacked out in Denver.
Oh, man. All right. So, I disagree and I agree at the same time. I don't think that their team is necessarily great, but I will say this, and this is what happened last year when they got the 48 wins. They had the worst division in the West. So everybody kept saying, they almost got the 48 wins. They played against Minnesota. Who else is in it? I got to look up the division. They played Utah, who fucking won 49, but they fucking suck. Minnesota, really kind of finding their way. The big one, they get to play fucking Portland, and they get to play fucking OKC, multiple games. So that's a lot of wins that are going to be kind of stacking up. So I can see them accumulating a lot of stupid-ass wins, because this year, Utah is going to be horrible. OKC is going to be horrible. Portland is going to be horrible. And then who was the 15 on that? Yeah, that's it. So it's Utah, Minnesota, Portland, OKC. They're going to be racking up a lot of wins. All right, man. Maybe I don't the talent per se, but I don't think your prediction is far off. And I also say, look out for an upset in the first round. That's all I'll say. Jokic, 3 MVPs. I don't think he'll do it just because the NBA doesn't really do that.
They definitely got the voter fatigue, but if they win 65 games, they have the best record in the league, and he has the same stats from last year, he's winning it.
They're just going to nitpick the teams. They're going to nitpick his division. They should have did the shit last year, but they're going to nitpick the division, especially because Utah is way worse. Because Utah still had won 49 last year, but this year they're going to be really bad. Every single team in their division is going to be bad except for Minnesota. But Minnesota, we still don't know exactly how everything's going to play.
And we know what Jokic does against Rudy Gobert.
Yeah, so, I mean, yeah, goddamn. They could, because that division alone, that's like 20 wins. That's
right, straight up.
That's 20 wins by itself. Everybody else in the West is still pretty good, though, so I don't know. I don't know if, like, an individual team besides the Warriors, I can't see them racking 55 wins. I'm not going to lie. I think everybody's going to be around that, almost kind of like last year. It was like everybody kind of had like 49, 50-ish. You know, I don't know.
You know what, Terry? I'm sick of fucking hearing you talk. I'm just going to say it. I'm going to say it. It's been on my mind for 3 seasons. I haven't put it on wax. I'm just going to say it.
Go for it.
People are sleeping on the Denver Nuggets because their best player is white.
Not for me. I like Jokic.
Everyone talks about Jokic like he's not the best player in the league, despite him winning 2 MVPs. I can't think of another situation in which, like, the reigning back-to-back MVP gets this much disrespect coming off a season in which he didn't have his second and third banana. If it was LeBron James, who was on the Nuggets, who put up the same stats as him without his second and third best guy, everyone would be all over the tip of his dick for being the best player in the league. Huh?
We saw it with LeBron. He's had horrible rosters in fucking Cleveland.
I'm talking about remember when he lost in the finals and they didn't have Kyrie and Kevin Love?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, everyone was fucking licking LeBron's balls. Talking about it's amazing he got this far without. No one does this for Jokic. He's playing with a bunch of non-NBA guys. Austin Rivers played like 30 minutes a game on the Nuggets last year. Yeah. Like, what are we talking about? The man is a generational player. He's the best player in the NBA right now. It's not a discussion for me. And I think he's going to show improve this season. Put the NBA world on watch. The great white hope is here.
What does he have to do, though? Like, his numbers have to be insane. And that's
got to be the same numbers. Got to be the same numbers from last season, and you win 60 games. That's the formula.
So let's look at his numbers with Jamal Murray opposed to without. It's almost the same. It's almost the same, except for the rebounds. It's pretty much almost the same. You don't think his points are going to go down because of Murray, though? So he scored 26.
Nah, I don't think so. I think he's learned to be more aggressive. I actually think the absence of Murray and Porter has helped him.
It's
because
changed.
Jokic his mentality has always been a facilitator, make the right play, hit the guy who's cutting. And then, like, he had to learn. Like, there are times where I just got to take over. And you watch that Pelicans game from last year, he scored, 30-some points in the fourth quarter. Like, there were numerous games where he's just like, okay, I did the quarterback thing. I spread the ball around. It's time for me to go take the rock myself. And I think that difference is going to pay dividends, allowing him to be more aggressive once his complementary players are back.
So 1 seed Nuggets. Championship expectations for you or what?
Yep.
How did they beat the Warriors?
It starts with one man, the MVP.
You think Murray?
Last year, they loaded up on him with Draymond and sending help, and then the secondary guys couldn't make plays. You're not going to be able to do that with Michael Porter Jr. out there. Not going to be able to do that with Jamal Murray out there. And I tell you what, if you sleep on Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, we've seen what he looks like as a fifth option on a championship team. He's a perfect fifth option on a championship.
He can shoot. He can fucking shoot. He gets slept on. He can shoot, bro.
And Bruce Brown, dude. Bruce Brown, I couldn't be higher on anyone this NBA season than I am on Bruce Brown this year. I think Bruce Brown is going to make a gigantic impact for the Nuggets. This is what we wanted to see with Ben Simmons and Bruce Brown in Brooklyn. We're like, it's going to be the perfect foil. He's the ultimate pick and roll partner. He can make great passes from the short roll. Yada, 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 yada. He's going to be phenomenal with Jokic. And they just got too many good players to not be good. I believe in the Denver Nuggets. I believe in their coaching and Mike Malone. Here's the biggest thing that concerns me, though. The hockey-style substitutions that Doc Rivers and Mike Malone do. You cannot fucking take out your whole starting 5 and put in another set of 5 players for 8 minutes at a time. That shit is not a recipe to winning 60 games in the NBA. I think now he knows I have a little more horses. It doesn't matter. I can stagger these guys some more. I can have some more lineup flexibility.
Yeah.
But if Mike Malone comes out here with the fucking miracle on ice fucking full line changes, that's going to be the thing that costs them the number 1 seed.
My only deterrence for him not winning the MVP, and I think he should deserve if they are the number 1 seed, I think he deserves the fuck out of it. Like he definitely does. But I think the only deterrence will be like the nitpicking of like, of course he's going to get his division wins, but if their record versus like the top 6 isn't really good, it might be one of those situations where they'll nitpick the fuck out of it. So I need to see like if they play like Memphis, if they play. You said Dallas is 7, but like if it's Phoenix, Dallas, Memphis, Minnesota, Clippers, I got to see a good record against those teams. Warriors, I got to see a really good record against those teams.
I just don't know who matches up with him in the West. Who's guarding Jokic?
No one can stop him. It's really dependent on everyone else. I don't know, man. I don't know if those other guys are that good. I do like Ish Smith as a backup, playmaker ball handler, but
yeah, certainly better than Austin Rivers, right?
Yeah, he is. He is, but I don't know, bro. I don't know about everyone else. I really don't. We'll see. Is Jamal Murray worth 15 wins? That's the question. 15? It's not just Murray. It's their bench is like better than their starters were last season. Jeff Green. Is he still on the team?
Yeah, Jeff Green's there. Like they got a good bench now, and now Zeke Naji is a 3-and-D guy coming off the bench. Bones Highland is a spark plug microwave type of guy who gets you a bucket. Suddenly, like these players fit into their roles, where it's like you're asking them to start alongside Jokic, and they're overmatched.
Michael Porter Jr. Is he healthy?
Looks like it. You've seen the videos of him in preseason and whatnot?
Yeah, he looks good. He's good.
He look healthy. Motherfucker hitting 1-foot step back threes from the corner right in people's face. Like,
I hope he stays healthy because, like, the chance the Nuggets took on him, it can look great, bro. The GM is a fucking genius because he's a talent, bro. He's a top 25 talent, I would say. But production wise, he's not giving it to me yet, and he's got to give me some more defense. So we shall see.
Well, actually, Terry, it's a good thing you brought that up because the biggest thing that concerned me when they all were healthy was, remember when they had the foursome of Michael Porter, Aaron Gordon, Jokic, and Murray? Michael Porter was talking about, I'm not getting enough shots in the playoffs. And
yeah, I remember.
I need to be a bigger part of the offense and blah, 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 blah. I need to have a higher usage rate. If he starts with that stupid shit, that could torpedo all their fucking hopes. But if Michael Porter Jr. realizes, hey, I'm a guy who's played 40 games in the NBA who they just got a $150 million contract to play alongside an MVP. Maybe I should just enjoy life and hit catch and shoot threes. They'll be just fine.
That's facts. That's facts. All right. Well, that's your West. So you want to give one more overview? Give it a whole thing. And then let's give
it from top to bottom. First in the West, the Nuggets. Second, the Warriors. Third, the Timberwolves. Fourth, the Clippers. That's the top 4. Fifth, the Pelicans. Sixth, the Grizzlies. Those are your playoff guaranteed teams. In the play-in, we're going to have the Dallas Mavericks and the Phoenix Suns, the Los Angeles Lakers, and the Sacramento Kings. And missing out on the play-in, opting in for Victor Wenbenyama are going to be the Portland Trail Blazers, the Houston Rockets, the Oklahoma City Thunder, the Utah Jazz, and the abysmal San Antonio Spurs.
Yes, sir. That's your West right there, man. Fucking hell. Those bottom West teams, man. That's rack up them wins on them boys. I swear to God, it's about to be ugly. Wenbenyama, man. Shout out to you, bro. You changed the whole NBA. This is going to be crazy. Denver,
hey, shout out to you guys. Thank you for sticking it through our Western Conference preview. If you haven't already, make sure that you like and subscribe to our channel. We're going to be putting out our Eastern Conference preview tomorrow. We're recording them both at the same time, but we just don't think your ears can handle 3 hours of truth in one sitting.
Not at all. But yeah, man, West, that's an interesting one. If you get that one exact, fuck it, I'll give it to you. But that's a wild.
Hey, what are my 2 wildest picks? The Suns and the Nuggets?
The Grizzlies at 6 is a little crazy. The Suns one at 8 is a little nuts, too. That one's crazy. Nuggets one at 1 is fucking insane. The Timberwolves at 3 is a little wild. Man. A lot of it is crazy as fuck. I'm not going to lie.
Well, that's why you came to the Habitual Line Sippers podcast. If you wanted to look up the betting odds, you can go to Real GM or DraftKings, but you came for that real.
All right, buddy. Well, that's it.
All right.
Let's get in the East.
Thank you for listening to our podcast this evening. Thank you. You're far too kind.